What's up everybody, I'm back with another YouTube video, and if you're new here, my name is John. I am a washed up TikTok star who was only kind of famous because of my twin brother, and now I make YouTube videos about healthy lifestyle tips, skincare, fitness, exercise, just overall health in general. And so if you like stuff like this, give this video a like and subscribe for more videos. I think that's going to be my intro from now on. I should probably write that down, I might forget it. I mean, it's pretty accurate, so. I know I said this in another video and I was joking, but now for real, I'm going to show you how to get big muscles. Well, for skinny guys. Now when it comes to building muscle mass and those tips, it's pretty similar across the board, whether you have a body type of skinny, fat, or a little bit in between. But this video specifically is for people who are like me, who are skinny, hard gainers, fast metabolisms, and that just have a really hard time building muscle and gaining weight. Before you click off this video and say, what the heck, Papa John don't know nothing, let me show you my credentials. This is a picture of me at 15 years old, sophomore in high school, killing the game. If I had to guess, I can't really remember, but I think I was about 135, 140 pounds. No more than 145 for sure. And this is me now. Actually, I'm lying to you, this is not me now. This is probably from like a year ago, before I had all this. But regardless, I'm still pretty much the same. I haven't gained a lot of muscle mass since then, to be honest with you. And as of right now, I am currently weighing at 175, 180 on a good day. So that was just a quick reference of my credentials and what I know in terms of building muscle mass for skinny guys. Definitely keep watching this video if you too want to learn how to gain 40 to 45 pounds of muscle mass as a skinny guy, just like I did. How to gain muscle for skinny. How to gain weight, plus build muscle. Don't act like you can't read my handwriting. I really can't read handwriting. His handwriting is terrible. Shut up. Coming off at tip number 1 on how to gain weight and build muscle mass as a skinny guy is you need to reach a calorie surplus every single day. As a skinny guy, this tip of reaching your calorie surplus every single day, to me personally, I think is the most crucial and defining tip when it actually comes to gaining weight and building muscle mass. So if you don't know what a calorie surplus is, basically it's the need to consume more calories than you are actually burning in a day. Reaching your calorie surplus is essential for us skinny guys in order to gain or even just to maintain your current body weight. The reason why skinny guys, or hard gainers is another term, need to reach their calorie surplus every single day is because our metabolism burns calories at a faster rate than the average person. With our metabolism working at a faster rate, we burn calories at a faster rate, thus making it harder for us to build muscle mass and gain weight. Now I'm sure everyone's familiar with the daily eating schedule. Every day you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, but as a skinny guy, and because our really fast metabolisms, we need to be eating at least 4 to 5 times a day in order to reach our calorie surplus. Now this is something I wish I would have known when I first started training, because my first few years of lifting, I just thought, okay, you lift weights, you build muscles. Great, but that's clearly not the case, and your body needs the materials, I guess you could say, in order to build the muscle, and it's just not gonna come out of thin air. An analogy I just thought of is like an acorn, right? An acorn grows a tree, but if you don't have an acorn in the ground and it's just grass, but you keep providing it sunlight and water, a tree is never gonna grow there because it doesn't have the acorn to grow. That was probably a horrible analogy, but you see where I'm getting at. So every skinny guy who wants to build muscle needs to be eating 4 to 5 times a day. And if you can't actually eat that much, try and eat like small meals or little snacks in between the meals you already eat. Now as a skinny guy, and because you have a faster metabolism rate than the average person, this is not an excuse to go out and eat a bunch of junk food to gain weight. That is not the right way to do it. It's a way to do it, but it's very sloppy and it's not the right way and super unhealthy. So the majority of foods that you should be eating, whether you're a skinny guy, you're not, everyone should be eating a healthy, clean diet that's low in fat. And so everyone should be eating their, I don't know, chicken with mashed potatoes, broccoli, rice, whatever meal you have. And then as a skinny guy, then you could eat the slice of pizza or a hamburger or something of that nature in order to reach our calorie surplus to gain the weight. As opposed to just a regular person with a normal metabolism that's not a skinny guy, you probably can't get away with that, and maybe just stick with like a small dessert after your meal But for us skinny guys, we need to be eating constantly. And again, us skinny guys and needing to reach our calorie surplus is not an excuse to just keep scarfing down on a bunch of junk food every day and only junk food. We still need to be eating our healthy meal plate, and when we're done with that, then we can eat our junk. There definitely needs to be some sort of balance there. We still need to be eating our healthy meal plates, but because they are not super dense in calories like junk food is, then after you're done with your meal, then you can eat your junk food after. But don't just only rely on the junk food to gain the weight, because that can lead to other health issues down the line, such as heart problems, and also it can get out of hand with the weight gain as well. Now, one little hack that I used to do when I first started trying to gain weight was I used to just eat peanut butter just straight out of the jar. Now, be sure to have your own jar of peanut butter that's personally for you. And don't be like me, because what I used to do, I used to just get my spoon, my peanut butter, right? Eat it straight from the jar, and I'll put it back in the cabinet when I'm done. And then my brother would go and make like a PB&J sandwich with all my cooties in there. I never really thought about that until after, but that's kind of gross. Peanut butter is really helpful to eat when you want to gain weight, because peanut butter is dense in calories, but it is also very nutritious. It has a lot of good nutrients inside, and so it's a healthy fat. And it is also very versatile, because you can put it in your shake too as well and blend it and then drink it after your workout. Now, I know some people count their calories with like a calorie counter app or something like that, but for me, I did it the lazy way. And what I did was I weighed myself every night, and say I weighed like 165, but I wanted to gain a few pounds, I will try and increase the weight of my body weight before bed. So every night I will weigh myself to make sure I was 166 pounds, and if I wasn't, I was 165 or under, I would go and eat a quick meal real quick or chug my protein shake to make sure I would gain the proper amount of weight before I went to bed. Now, this took a amount of months in order to achieve. I did this in small increments, and I didn't try to gain 1 pound every single night before bed, because that's unrealistic and unhealthy. And so this should take a number of months in order to achieve. Now, the next tip on my list, tip number 2, is to consume the proper amount of protein. So for example, like me, I am currently 175 pounds right now, and in order for me to continue to build muscle, I need to be consuming 175 grams of protein every single day. Now, my next tip, my third tip, is to do absolutely no cardio. Zero cardio, nothing, nada. Doing any type of cardio or endurance workout like running is doing the exact opposite of what you want to do as a skinny guy, and you're gonna lose weight instead of trying to gain weight. As a skinny guy who needs to reach their calorie surplus every single day, doing cardio workouts is going to burn the calories at an even faster rate than you already are doing naturally, and you are not going to be able to gain the mass that you want. I remember this was a really big issue for me growing up, because I love to play basketball. I played basketball my whole life. And when I first started lifting, it was really hard for me to gain weight and build muscle while playing basketball at the same time, because of the constant cardio, running up and down the court and burning calories at a faster rate than I already was. And so I kind of had to choose one or the other, and I chose lifting. I still do play basketball every now and then, but it's super occasional. I only play like once every few months now because of work, and I don't have time, but mainly because I don't want to burn more calories than I am consuming. So as a skinny guy who wants to gain mass and build muscle, it doesn't really mix well with cardio workouts, because cardio will do more detriment to your gains. But it is not impossible. I mean, it will be more difficult, but it's definitely not impossible. You just have to eat at a higher calorie surplus than you already are. I mean, just look at the Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary. If you've seen it, he was able to gain a pretty good amount of muscle mass, despite the fact that he's the GOAT of basketball. I don't know if he had a fast metabolism or not, but he was definitely a freak of nature, so I don't know if that even applies to everyone else. Now, moving on to my next tip, and my fourth tip is to train with hypertrophy. If you don't know what hypertrophy training is, basically it's the exact opposite of ego lifting. I'm sure anyone who's been to a gym has encountered the ego lifter who racks up all the weight and grunts and just bangs the weight plates on their chest. It's just really horrible for them, and they're just focused on getting the weight up, going through the motion, and not actually focus on working the muscle itself. So yeah, hypertrophy training is basically the exact opposite of what I described as an ego lifter. You want to drop the weight and really focus on squeezing and working the muscle that you're lifting, and you want to focus on a time under tension, slow negatives, pause reps, stuff like that, to really focus on the mind-muscle connection. Hypertrophy training, since you're dropping the weight, you want to do higher reps. What you want to aim for is about 4 sets of 10 to 20 reps. So if you really want to build muscle, especially if you're a skinny guy, just ignore that saying. I'm sure you've heard it of heavy weights build muscle and light weights tone the muscle. That's really not accurate at all, and if you really want to build and stimulate muscle growth, you need to be training hypertrophy. Also, hypertrophy training is not just more effective, but it's also a lot smarter, because when you drop the weight with hypertrophy training, you have a less chance of injury, as opposed to lifting heavy all the time. You have an even higher chance of injury. As for me personally, I always train hypertrophy when I go to the gym, and every now and then I'll occasionally throw in a heavy bench press or something like that, but majority of the time, 90%, I'm always training hypertrophy. Now my next tip, my 5th tip, is to train each body part twice a week. I know a majority of people out there do something called the bro split, and basically that's when you work out one body part one time a week. But as a skinny guy, you really want to stimulate muscle growth as much as possible, so I recommend doing it twice a week. There's a small percentage of people out there that actually work out each body part 3 times a week, but I don't really recommend that, and I think that's a little counterintuitive, only because your body needs time to rest and recuperate so that it could become 100% for the next workout. And if you're working out at a pace of exercising each body part 3 times a week, you're not really giving your body a chance to recover. So as a skinny guy, you can't really get away with working out each body part just once a week, but you also don't want to overtrain with each body part 3 times a week. So you definitely need to have a balance, and so I think just working out each body part twice a week is a good in-between. Okay, so number 6 on the list, and the last tip to gain muscle mass for skinny. What is this? Tip number 6, my last and final tip on the list, is to just switch up your workout routine. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're a skinny guy who's trying to gain weight and build muscle, so you're kind of a newbie when it comes to this. And this is something that I wish someone would have told me when I first started out. But basically, you want to switch up your routine. I typically do it every month. But yeah, you basically want to switch up your workout routine every month or so to keep them working, keep them shocked and stimulated. Because I remember when I first started out, I did the same exact workout for like almost a year. It was like 8 months, and I hit a plateau, and I was wondering, like, why am I not growing anymore? When you do the same workout or workout routine for a certain amount of time, your body adapts to it and it doesn't become challenging anymore, and you want to keep challenging your body so that you can stimulate muscle growth. I only say that because when you first start lifting, the first year is when you achieve the most amount of muscle growth. It's something called newbie gains, and then after your first year of lifting, it only gets harder and harder to progress and continue to build muscle. It's not impossible, but it's definitely harder after that first year. Alright, so that was it. Those were all my 6 tips on how to gain weight and build muscle mass as a skinny guy. So that was the end of the video, and to all you skinny guys and gals out there, I hope this video helped, and I wish you well on your journey to achieving your dream physique. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.